Today on the channel, the best of 2023 lists continue, and in today's video, we're counting down my top 10 favorite McFarlane Toys figures of 2023.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another best of 2023 countdown video. In today's video, we got Todd McFarlane on the couch, so that only means one thing. We're counting down my top 10 McFarlane Toys figures of 2023. And I should say this year, a banner year for McFarlane Toys. Todd, you should have a round of applause for all you accomplished in 2023, as Todd, truly the hardest working toy industry giant there is every single year, it seems like, but specifically in 2023. And this is an interesting countdown. If you guys remember last year, I was awfully down on Todd. Yes, I'm telling you, Todd, I was awfully down on McFarlane Toys last year. But 2023, talk about a rebound, ending up being one of the toy lines of 2023, and it's been a great year for action figures. We've had some misses, we always do, but we've had a lot of hits. G.I. Joe Classified Series, an all-timer of a line. The Elite line from WWE continues to its success year after year. But Todd McFarlane and what he's done with the McFarlane Spawn line, DC Multiverse lines, then all the other Spiderweb lines out there, man, he's really got something going on, and the quality seems to have improved in 2023. Paint applications have improved. Less figures breaking, it seems like, in 2023. So constant learning, constant improvement. One of the mottos of the channel we've talked about. That's what you should be doing every single day when your feet hit the floor from the bed. How do I get better? How do I continue to get better? And McFarlane Toys has done that, in my opinion, in 2023. So shout out to McFarlane Toys. This is a tough list to put together. Some of these lists for the year end have been very difficult. This is one of the more difficult ones for me as well. But of course, we're going to do this list like we do all the other lists on the channel for the best of stuff and all the other top 5, top 10 videos, I guess, honestly. But we're going to start at number 10. We're going to work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my favorite. And remember, this is my list. So put your list in the comments down below and make sure you do start at number 10. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's start off at number 10. We begin the countdown, of course, at number 10. And number 10 comes in hot, a recent unboxing on the Kyle Peterson 2.0 channel, as I've done a lot of McFarlane Toys unboxings on the 2.0 channel. So make sure you subscribe to that channel if you want to see more McFarlane Toys stuff in 2024 and beyond. But a lot of videos over there, especially towards the end of the year, as we seemingly get a new McFarlane toy figure almost every single day. But this was a late in the year unboxing on the channel. But man, this one I didn't really have super high expectations of, but it blew me away, and it actually ended up being the best figure in the wave, if you ask me. And this comes from McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman and Robin line. It is Poison Ivy, of course, a female figure here. But man, is this figure cool. Blew away my expectations of this one. Love the fiery red hair. Love the green color. Love the sculpting throughout. No paint app issues with this one. The joints all nice and free flowing. Love the extra detail like on the hand here. Just an all-around really good figure, and one that I never would have guessed would be in a top 10. But man, here we are. Absolutely awesome. Looks just like Uma Thurman, if you ask me, from the movie. So coming in at number 10, Batman and Robin, Poison Ivy. For the number 9 selection in our top 10 McFarlane toy figures of 2023, we take a trip to Walmart. And this subline seems to be a Walmart exclusive and looks like it will continue into 2024. And I'm all in on it because you know me, I love my superheroes, but I also love monsters. I love zombies, and I do love vampires. And that's what we got here at number 9, is we got the Vampire Superman Walmart exclusive. Of course, gotta get the most out of your molds. We've seen these bodies before, but the magic here is in the hands and the heads on this one. Beautiful, crazy vampire hands. A crazy look to Superman that we don't expect when we think of Superman. And once again, this was a Walmart exclusive, so a little extra hard to get fitness with this one if you don't have Walmarts in your area, but this is one I don't think they would release everywhere, as I don't know if this is for everyone. Having it as a Walmart exclusive, I think, worked out pretty well here, but a very, very cool figure. One, again, I didn't expect to like as much as I actually did. So coming in at number 9, the Walmart exclusive Vampire Superman. Coming in at number 8 in the top 10 countdown, what is old is new again. And Todd McFarlane, like a lot of toy makers, is never scared for a repaint, never scared to do a re-release. He's taking chances every single day out there, just like sitting on my couch for all these reviews. Taking your life into your own hands. I got 3 dogs that might jump over there. He might get a see you later in the face. You never know what might happen here. But number 8 on this DC countdown was the number 1 figure last year. However, we got another re-release, another repaint this year. One of my all-time favorite figures of the last decade, especially from DC toy lines. What is it at number 8? Well, we go to Swamp Thing, but we go to the DC McFarlane store exclusive glow-in-the-dark Swamp Thing, bringing a little best of both worlds, like a young Hannah Montana, bringing us a little bit of the regular release, bringing us a little bit of the GameStop release with this extra head, and then, of course, McFarlane put his extra special pizzazz with a beautiful artwork box for this one, and then the glow-in-the-dark aspect to this, making this feel like a truly new figure. So you got to borrow with kindness. You got to get the most out of your molds. Now, if this was the first ever Swamp Thing, this could very well be number 1 for me, but it does feel old. It does feel rehashed with a little bit of a twist, so still a great figure. Not as impressive as the first one was, of course, last year's, because some of the shine wore off last year for sure. But an all-timer, Swamp Thing, one of my all-time favorites, of course, going back to my childhood. So you know I'm in for this one. I love a glow-in-the-dark figure. So coming in hot at number 8, Swamp Thing, glow-in-the-dark. We've arrived at the number 7 spot in the countdown, and this time we head over to the Image universe. Of course, Todd McFarlane, mostly known these days, it feels like, for his action figures, but all-time, long-time fans of us know from his run on Marvel, and then helping create, I should say, the Image universe. And Todd, one day we got to talk about that long form on the channel. But of course, 90s goodness wouldn't be the same without this character. Some of my favorite toy lines to collect going all the way back to the 90s is the Spawn line. And this year, we got a 2-pack that just makes Todd's heart just flutter. He's fluttering right there, just starting to talk about it. It was the Batman Spawn 2-pack, which I found at GameStop, Mall of America. Shout out Mall of America, as we do got Spawn coming in at number 7. Some people would argue we haven't got the complete be-all, end-all Spawn figure. Some people say it's the Kickstarter. Some people, like myself, have said the Mortal Kombat edition's been really good. But this one's pretty close, and it is definitely in the running here. By all means, it is the star of the 2-pack between this and Batman. That Batman leaving a little bit to be desired. But this Spawn is a classic Spawn. A Spawn, when I close my eyes and my head hits the pillow at night, this is what I think of. Very cool with the big cape going on. Tons of different sculpt there. Classic Spawn look throughout. If you don't have the Kickstarter, you don't have the Mortal Kombat one, you can't do wrong with this one. So coming in at number 7, Spawn from the Batman 2-pack. Next up at number 6 goes back to my childhood as a little kid in the 1980s. The Kenner Superpowers line was an all-time favorite of mine. I had so many great memories of course, playing with the Kenner Superpowers. Then later, those Kenner Superpowers, I used them as wrestling figures before I started getting LJNs and kind of in that time frame. So I had a lot of fun. And there was one figure back in the day that I never did get. For whatever reason, I don't know if we just didn't see it. My parents, grandparents, whoever wouldn't allow me to get it. Whatever the reason was, I never got the figure back in the day. And until now, this year, 2023, I never had this character in my collection, but man, had to make it right. It felt right. Picked it up this year. What are we talking about? We're talking McFarlane Toys Collector Edition. Of course, the regular edition of Firestorm. Now, Firestorm, an all-time member of the Justice League there. Just very cool, very iconic. And something about the color scheme in this one, I just remember back to being a little kid, seeing that Kenner Superpowers, being so enchanted with that one, wanting it for so long. And now here we are, passed on all the other versions over the years, wasn't too deep into DC until McFarlane got the license. Yeah, Todd, give me the thumbs up from the chair over there. But this Firestorm, just a very cool one. Now, I never came across the Platinum Edition, at least as of yet, but this one gets all the bells and whistles for me. This one gets the job done. Just a fabulous, fabulous figure. Really do like the colors on this one. All the hands, all the effects you could ever need. Truly a collector's edition. Truly a great figure, and that's why Firestorm's coming in hot no pun intended, at number 6. We've hit the halfway point in the McFarlane Toys year-end 2023 Top 10 Countdown. Make sure you get your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. But we're at the number 5 spot right here. And this one we're going to talk about. Todd, you're not going to like to hear this. No, you're not going to like to hear it, but you're going to listen. You're going to listen. One thing McFarlane Toys, and of course the DC Multiverse line does, is give us a lot of iconic characters. However, we get a lot of iconic characters in not looks we're really looking for. We get some deep-cut Batman. And he goes around, and Todd, of course, doing what's best for business. That's what he's saying over there. And he's just pointing at me. He's giving me the dirty look. I can see it. I can feel it. But he gives us a lot of stuff. But Todd, we want the main figures. We want the ones where we close our eyes, and this is that iconic version. And of course, like Batman, for example, there's multiple versions of that. But we get a lot of stuff that's off the beaten path where we need to go back home. We need to find our home. We need to get centered. And that's what we got here at number 5 finally. Is we've had a lot of attempts, just nothing that feels like home to me until this one. And this one was, of course, a Target exclusive DC Multiverse, part of the Cyborg Build-A-Figure wave. It is Barry Allen. It is the Flash. And this feels to me like a classic Flash I've been chasing. I don't need the DC Superman animated series Flash. I don't need these weird flashes from alternate timelines and things like that. I want the classic superpowers. And for me, I talked about it. We all have different versions of characters, and a lot of people have a very good remembrance of the 80s superpower line. And that's where this Flash kind of feels like for me. Just very, very cool. And one better, we even get a human head here, an extra human head, which I do appreciate on this one. And a pro tip out there, use this on that ugly Aquaman figure. Can spruce that up as well. I just don't have that Aquaman figure to spruce up. But we do get a nice plain Jane head that we can use in the future. I'm saving it for a rainy day. But a perfect Barry Allen Flash here, coming in hot at number 5. We're down to the final 4 in the McFarlane Toys Countdown, and number 4 comes to us at the dangerously close end of the year spot. And I do wonder personally if I had more time with this figure, as I literally just unboxed this yesterday as I'm filming this. If I would have had a little bit more time, maybe a month or so, this could have maybe got to the number 3, maybe even possibly the number 2 spot. But as we sit right now here at this very table with Todd McFarlane on the couch watching in over the proceedings, this one's going to come in at number 4. And once again, we go to the McFarlane DC Collector's Edition line. Just starting to hit the shelves, Amazon, all that kind of fun stuff. It is one Captain Carrot. And this is a character I know absolutely nothing about. Who's this Captain Carrot that stole my heart that I know nothing about? Well, I know his first name's Rodney, so we're on a first name basis at least. But man, oh man, is this a cool figure. And sometimes you don't have to have history with a character to know you like something. And that's where I'm at right here. A super-powered bunny rabbit. A big, chunky, super-powered bunny rabbit. Man, oh man, sign me up all day long. And twice on Sunday, Todd. Yes, you heard it here first. He also has a collector's edition. I will be on the lookout for that one. But this regular edition is perfect enough for me here at number 4. Very cool. Extra hands on this guy. All kinds of cool posability. Even posability on the ears. A beautiful, beautiful figure. Would look amazing come Easter time frame on display. I'll definitely be having him up on the mantle come Easter time with some other Easter figures. Just so fun, so zany, so wild. A hairy bipedal creature. You're playing a lot of hits here for me, and that's why Captain Carrot comes in at number 4. Down to the final 3 in the McFarlane Toys Countdown, and this figure was so nice, I bought it twice, but kind of, I guess I'll say, as I did buy the comic kind of cell shading version at San Diego Comic-Con, and then I got the regular version a little bit later down the road. What are we talking about? Well, we're going to Batman. We're going to Nightfall Batman, another classic Batman. And when I always say it, I close my eyes and think of a character. This is pretty close what I think of when it comes to Batman. I always think of this costume where others maybe think of the jet black costume, or maybe some go all the way back to the Adam West days. Choose your own Batman adventure at the end of the day. But this one, very iconic, very cool. And like I said, I got the other one as well. Kind of interchangeable for the most part here, but I'm going to go the regular edition for my number 3 selection here. Just an all-timer in the Batman department. And as Todd says, I love Batman. Todd does. I like him okay, but Todd loves him, and that's why he's coming in here at number 3 in the top 10 list. Down to the final 2, and this gruesome twosome was very hard to choose from. You asked me a couple months down the line, maybe it'll flip-flop. I don't know, but that's one thing, that's one hallmark of a good toy line. When things are so good at the top, it is tough to make a decision. No, you're welcome, Todd. Todd said, thank you very much for those kind words. Well, I speak the truth here from the table here today. But Todd, you're going to like this one. You like all these. You made them. You made money off every single one of them. But coming in at number 2 here today, we're going, of course, DC Multiverse once again. We're going to the Collector's Edition, Platinum Edition of my boy Hawkman. Of course, Hawkman, an all-timer out there. And strangely enough, my dad, good friend of the channel, former contributor to the channel, missed my dad in his retirement from the channel. It's a sad, sad time over here. We're still in mourning. But my dad loves himself some Flash, which saw at number 5. He loves himself some Hawkman at number 2. And I got to track another one of these down for my dad for his collection. He's looking for one of these. But as you guys know, the Platinum Hawkman, a little bit harder to find than we'd like it to be. But we'll see. We'll find one for him eventually, hopefully. But man, this is Hawkman. I know it's not perfect. I know people say, oh, it's missing this or that. But to me, not being the greatest Hawkman expert, being a guy who came into Hawkman at the Kenner Superpowers collection as a very little kid, this is playing a lot of hits for me. This feels classic to me. This feels like my childhood nostalgia of playing with Hawkman, squeezing those legs together. An all-timer here. Just an all-timer. Love the color scheme. Just feels like it's ripped out of the 80s. Just an absolute fun one. Absolutely love this one. That's why it came in at number 2 in the top 10 list. And that means there's only one left. What could be the number 1 DC Multiverse figure of 2023 for me? Well, stay tuned. All right, we've hit the number 1 spot, the number 1 McFarlane Toys figure of 2023. Once again, make sure you get your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. Put them in order. That's the hard part, but that is the fun part. And make sure you like and subscribe to both YouTube channels. Always helps us out over here, of course. But now we're at the number 1 spot. Todd, you got any guesses? Todd from the couch? What's that, Todd? Oh, Todd thinks my number 1 selection is Catman. Of course, the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive this year. We unboxed that on the channel. That is a good pick, Todd. However, Catman came in at number 11 for me. That's where he would come in. Not super familiar with that character, but man, that's an all-timer of a figure. So that's a good guess, Todd, but not number 1 for me. Number 1, maybe out of left field a little bit, but this is one of my favorite superheroes. Talked about it earlier. I love monsters, mutants, mayhem, you name it. I love all that stuff. I also love vampires. So what's coming in at number 1? Well, once again, we take a journey to Walmart. We head up over there and we find Hal Jordan, Vampire Green Lantern. An awesome, awesome figure. And I think the translucent green plastic effects really bring this one to another level. Obviously, head sculpt is the winner here. That's what brings it to the table in the first place. This just puts it over the hump. And then, of course, Green Lantern being one of my favorite DC superheroes. Had to have this one, just an all-timer. And I remember really sweating this one when it was first announced and it was starting to hit stores. Like, man, I'm never going to find this. But like usual, found quite a few of them, but actually found my first one on a business trip in Omaha, Nebraska. Shout out to Omaha. Shout out to Big Fred's Pizza. Shout out to everything over there. Omaha Steaks, too. Why not? But Vampire Green Lantern takes the number 1 spot this year for me from McFarlane Toys. Sorry it's not Catman, but thank you for watching, Todd from the couch, of course, and thank all of you watching these videos on the channel as well. And of course, you guys know what to do from there. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're hitting up the old Patreon channel for early access to all the videos from both YouTube channels. Don't forget about Pro Wrestling Tees, another way you can support the channel. And then don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So, for the top 10 McFarlane Toys figures of 2023, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.